Alright, somebody asked me about gaijin hunters in Japan. The word gaijin means foreigner and hunter, So it's like a Japanese person who hunts for foreigners. And I think what that means is there are certain Japanese people here, when they see a foreigner, they just go bonkers in their head, and they have to go up to that person and ask, where are you from? Why are you here? What do you do here? And they just are like attracted to you and come to you like a suction. So when I came to Japan and I used to live in Osaka, I would get approached by these people all the time, especially when I was riding the trains. I remember one time I was on the train, I had just finished work, I was tired, I didn't want to talk to nobody, and I was sitting on the train, kind of crowded in there, and there was this guy next to me, and he started up. He's like, "So where are you from?" And the thing about gaijin hunters is that they're not just talking to you because they're interested in you as a person, but they're only interested in you because you're a foreigner. So that's what kind of, I guess, devalues the situation. So I was really tired, and he started asking me the typical questions that gaijin hunters ask. And I just said in Japanese, I said, "I'm sorry, I'm from Finland. I don't speak English." Okay, but actually I'm not from Finland, I'm from the United States. And that really backfired on me, because he said, "Oh really? I was a professor in Finland and I worked at the University of Helsinki." And I was like, "Oh God, now how am I going to continue this lie?" So I mean, that backfired on me that time. But I just told him, I said, "Look, people come up and talk to me all the time, and they always ask me the same questions, and I just get sick of it." So yeah, I've had experiences like that, and I've noticed that like in the last few years, people really don't approach me that much, and I mean, I still get it once in a while, but not as much as I used to when I was younger. And I think the reason is that when I was younger and when I had first come here to Japan, I really was like a fresh off the boat gaijin, But as I've lived here for a long time, I think my mannerisms and my body language may have kind of adapted to Japanese people. Well, when I go home, my friends and family often mention that some of my mannerisms and the way I carry myself is like a Japanese person. So I don't know. Maybe that's why people don't approach me as much anymore. But also now, when I get approached now, usually, like, I know when the person is a gaijin hunter, and what I mean by gaijin hunter is somebody who they just want to talk to you because you're a foreigner. Usually they want to practice English, or they just want to have some exposure to another culture besides Japanese culture. And I can really I can kind of empathize with their feelings, because it's so homogenous here that you would get excited if you lived, like, if you're white and you lived with a bunch of white people and everybody looked the same and had blue eyes and blonde hair, and you see somebody with black hair and black eyes and an exotic looking face, yeah, you're going to be interested. You want to talk to them. That's human nature, that's human curiosity. So I can understand their feeling from that point of view. But I don't want people talking to me just because I'm a foreigner. I want people to be genuinely interested in me. So yeah, I mean, now when those gaijin hunters come up to me, it depends on how the person is. If they're kind of annoying and aggressive and obnoxious, I'll just speak Japanese to them, and I'll say, "Do you want to take English lessons from me?" Because at least that way I can get something out of it. I can get a student and make some more money. But if you're first coming here to Japan and you're kind of accosted by these gaijin hunters a lot, honestly, I don't know if you're going to be able to differentiate between who is sincere and who is a gaijin hunter. because Japanese people are polite in general, and the people who are sincere and the gaijin hunters may approach you in the same way. And honestly, you know, if you're coming here for the first time, you're going to want to have as many resources at your fingertips as possible, and Japanese people can help you out a lot. You know, if you find somebody that's obnoxious, you can just offer to give them English lessons, or, you know, have them teach you to cook something or whatever. You know, they might be using you, but you can also use them too. Just be creative with it. Some people are creepy, and if you just want them to go away, then just make them a really ridiculous proposition, like say, I'm sorry, I'm really busy now, but if you want me to teach you English, I can do it for $100 an hour. You know, say something like that, and they'll probably go away. Yeah, I heard this story, like one of my students said that he approached a girl on the train, and you know, I'm guessing he was a gaijin hunter too, and he said, he asked her, "Where are you from?" and she just pulled out a slip of paper from her purse. It was like a little 3x4 piece of paper, and it had all the answers to every gaijin hunter's question on there. It said, like, "I'm from this country, and I've lived here for this. I've lived in Japan for this long, and this is what I do in Japan." And yeah, I've actually thought of that idea before. You know, it's just like sometimes you just get sick of being asked the same questions over and over again, and you just want to hand out a sheet of paper that has all the answers to the questions that you know you're going to get asked. But I thought that was a really creative idea. So, I mean, you know, I'd say that when you're approached by people like this, is try to understand it from their point of view. You know, that you're not common, and people are just, they have curious human nature, and especially Japanese people, they're really curious. They really want to get into your business sometimes, but just understand that you're living here as a foreigner, and that's something that's gonna, you know, that's something to be expected. And if you can, try to be polite to people, and if you meet those obnoxious people, just make them some unrealistic proposition, or, you know, ask them a really personal question to make them feel uncomfortable. You know, there's all kinds of different psychological tactics you can learn how to deal with it. And if you're living here, you're going to experience that a lot, most likely, and you'll learn how to deal with it. So that's some of my experiences with gaijin hunters. I'd say living here in Kobe now, and kind of like I said, a lot of people say I have a lot of Japanese mannerisms. Yeah, I don't get approached so much anymore. Oh, there's one more story I want to tell you. About, I don't know how long it was, about 4 months or 5 months ago, I was walking down at the pier in Kobe with a friend, and it was a nice evening, and we were by ourselves. And this guy holding a camera passed me, and I saw him look back like he wanted to say something to me, but I just ignored him and kept walking with my friend. We walked for about 2 minutes down the pier. This guy followed us the whole time. Finally, he built up the courage to talk to me. He's like, "Excuse me, where are you from?" But the way I don't know, the look in his eyes and the way he was acting, it was really creepy. Like, you know, he wasn't comfortable talking to me, and he wasn't comfortable approaching me, and that's what made it creepy, is that he had kind of been fantasizing about it in his head for the past 2 minutes, and I didn't like that. I didn't feel comfortable in that situation. And what he did is pretty much after asking about 2 or 3 gaijin hunter questions, he said, "Can I take a picture of you? And then can I have a picture with you and me together?" And that was like a little too much for me. I was with my friend, and I kind of felt it was rather intrusive, you know, because I was with my friend and I was having a conversation with that person, and it was just out of the, you know, it was just too out there, and I don't know what this guy's going to do with these pictures he takes. So I just I said no, and I changed the conversation. I was speaking to him in Japanese. I gave him my business card, and I said, "If you want to study English, give me a call." He asked me again if he could take a picture. He said, "Can I just take one picture?" And I said, "No." I said, "I have to go now, but please, if you want to study English, give me a call." And I just, you know, walked away.